Today, I want to offer comments this morning. I'm going to share the response to the question, what is Juneteenth? So you needn't bow your heads. I want to share some thoughts, not a religious prayer. I'm going to offer the response written by Kelly Neves, who is Museum Specialist of Oral History at the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture, affectionately known to many of us as the Blacksonian. I like to think of Juneteenth as a celebration of freedom, of family, and of joy that emerged from this cauldron of the war. After hundreds of years of enslavement and the intense post-Civil War era, all of these emotions and feelings had built up to a particular point. Then General Granger arrives with his troops, some of whom were members of the United States Colored Troops, to announce that they will enforce the Emancipation Proclamation. We know this wasn't news to these enslaved people. There were channels through which they had heard about the Emancipation Proclamation, but there was nothing that they could do without the Union troops to enforce it. So now they're able to enjoy this moment and recognize what they've come through. Even though they were confronted with the challenges of racism and oppression from the very moment that freedom was announced, they still decided, we need to buy land because we need a space to celebrate this freedom. As soon as that very following year, you see the emergence of emancipation parks all throughout the country. It starts in Houston, but you find them in different cities throughout the country. We chose this moment to savor, to see where we've come from, to chart where we're going to go, and to relish the strength of our families and communities. Juneteenth has evolved over the years to mirror shifts in our struggle. Sometimes it wanes, but it reemerges. After World War II, we have this new sense of pride, and the Great Migration started to carry Juneteenth throughout the United States. You see it come up again during the Civil Rights Movement of the late 60s and into Solidarity Day at the Poor People's Campaign held in Washington, D.C. in 1968. 50 years ago, from that moment, Solidarity Day, on June 19, 1968, you saw activists bring it back to their communities, where it developed a whole new grassroots identity. That's around the time that this author started celebrating it with her family. Her family, like mine, didn't have ties to Texas, and my family in Pennsylvania began celebrating Juneteenth in the early 70s. Some of us still celebrate July 4th, but we all celebrate Juneteenth. At its very core, Juneteenth is this affirmation that we are here, that we will continue to be here, we will continue to struggle in the face of many challenges. Thank you very much.